Okay, so it's 12:02. We may start. This session will be maybe 20 minutes, and we'll see on the question. So my name is Julie Croquison. As you can hear, I have a French accent. I'm from France. I'm an RCIC in Yukon, so I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I'm from France. I'm in Yukon. It's been 10 years in Yukon. We have lived in Quebec. We have lived in Ontario. We have lived in Alberta. I had some hands-on immigration. I came as a visitor. I changed as a work permit. After I had a post-graduation work permit, study permit, post-graduation work permit, nomination, PR, refusal, challenging, PR accepted, PR card renewal, and citizenship. So I have been in a lot of the paths. So if you have any question for those who joined in immigration, please ask them below, and we will answer it at the end if we have time. Today's topics will be things you must know before making an immigration application. Will be about 10 to 20 minutes topic and question for today. We'll take a question at the end if time allow. So we may start now. So the first question will be, how do I know which immigration path is right for my situation? Because every situation is different. Even you are a brother or sister, everyone is different. So to choose the best immigration path, you start by understanding your own profile and your own goal. Not everyone have their own goal. Not everyone want to be PR, but most of the people that I see want to be PR. Each program, such as Express Entry, provincial nominee program, study permit, work permit, family sponsorship, have their own eligibility rules. Not every option fits everyone. So first, I will say you may want to check your language skill. So like IELTS, CELPIP, TEF, TCF. This is important in many of the programs, not all the programs, but many of them is important. Second, if you study outside Canada, I recommend getting your ECA, Educational Credential Assessment. So for that, they will see your study back home, and they will see the equivalence in Canada, and they will give you the level of education you will have. And this can provide you pass in some of the immigration pathway. Third one, make sure you know the detail of your work experience. So work experience include type of job, length of your employment, working hours, and your NOC code. So NOC code is something detailed, but it's something very tricky in immigration. You really have to know your NOC code. It really have to match your duties. I will say the job title is not that important as your duties. Fourth one, think about your plan. Where do you want to live, and are you open to different location? So let's say in BC, we don't have the same weather in Vancouver than in Yukon, or even Toronto is like big city for us compared to the Yukon or Northwest Territories. So you really want to see where you want to settle, because right now immigration is restricted. As much as restriction come, less opportunity. So more you are in one province or one city, more link you get, more job opportunities maybe, and better option in some program where you live long term in the province than if you live somewhere else. If you skip this important step, you may apply to the wrong program or miss out an option like the PNP specifically, which can help increase your score if you are eligible for Express Entry. Talking to an RCIC earlier can help you also best pathway and avoid common mistake. And we will quick touch more in detail on question 3 about detail, I will say, on the mistake and common mistake. So Second point that we will see will be what document and preparation should I collect before creating my Express Entry profile. Express Entry profile is still one of the programs, the best that you can immigrate even you are overseas. So get your key document together before you apply to the Express Entry profile or PR application if selected. So first things to avoid those delays and errors will be your language test result. You want to make sure you are at the best for the score. Language test result you want to practice before. There is, like for English, there is different one. PTE, CELPIP, or IELTS. And even you speak a good English, you may want to practice one of them and see how you feel comfortable and the best one you want to take. Why? Is because when you know what you're getting into, you have less stress and usually you score better. Second, ECA, Educational Credential Assessment. We touched base that. You want to have it, your foreign degrees assessed, so that it's valid for 5 years, and that in some program is necessary and some program is an eligibility criteria. Passport, valid passport, that as everyone knows, some situation can be different, but valid passport for long term is always better. If it's expiring in the year, you may want to see how to renew it, and if you are in Canada, is it possible and when, especially for PR, because you will need at least 6 months valid passport. Employment record. So this is important in a lot of programs, I will say. And for employment records, make sure that everything, like every criteria are inside, like letterheads, your name, your position, your duties, how many hours, your wages, signed by the HR or the employer. And once you have those letters with you is a plus point. I will say that if you already leave the company, you request it now. It will still be valid when you apply for a PR or any other pathway. And why is because you don't want to wait that the company close, you don't have the same manager, they don't want to do the letter. And in some program, if you don't have those letters, you may not be able to apply. So once your job is finished, request those letters, keep it safe with you. And the best is to have the original, because if have to be notarized, you will need the original letter. Police certificate. Police certificate is another one for PR, immigration medical examination. So police certificate in most of PR, you have to give it. In immigration medical exam, it depends. We have currently an exemption. If you have done one in the last 5 years, you may be exempt. Otherwise, you have to have one. And I recommend that if you work in health department, that you have one even for your work permit, so that you can work with children or healthcare. You will need to show proof of fund for some programs, so make sure that you have funds, and sometime IRCC will request the last 6 months of your bank statement, so make sure that there is no unusual amount in and out, otherwise can be explained. And any dependent family member documentation, so marriage certificate for the spouse and kids' birth certificate, all the documentation related for them to prove that is your dependent, basically. Start preparing these documents early, as some can take a while to get. If you don't have them ready when you create your Express Entry profile, some of them will be a requirement, some of them will not. Like a language will be one requirement. I recommend the ECA, the assessment for education, to have it also, because otherwise you won't have any point and maybe not getting selected. So you may lose time and even refusal, because if you get selected you have to send your PR application. You have 60 days. 60 days pass very fast. Some of the client cannot get the PCC, the police certificate, in time, so we give explanation, we give heavy proof, documentation, everything, but it's always at the discretion of the officer to take in consideration. Those documents have to be sent by web form. It have to send web form acknowledgement. Web form, they send you a message, okay, it have been added to your file. So make sure that you follow all the process. And the third question I will say for the topic of today, if we are on, we have time, will be, what mistakes should I avoid before submitting an application? I get this question almost every time in consultation, or what should be avoided, and it's difficult to answer, to be honest, because some basic information, I feel it's basic for me, but for that person is maybe not basic. So common pitfall, I will say, on delay or refusal: incomplete, inaccurate documentation. So I had one consultation this week, and it get refused twice. First is get refused because it didn't have the family information, I think, and another document. And second, it get refused because it didn't enter the right information, which was basic for us, but I understand that for some people it's not basic. Another one also, and this have a big implication, he apply to a work permit that is a closed work permit, exemption, LMIA, so we require offer of employment. He applied for him and the full family. He didn't include the offer of employment. He get refused. He's out of status. He cannot work. Full family, no status. Under nomination at risk. So we are refiling with restoration, but it's not easy file. And this have lot of implication at the back for just a common mistake. So make sure that everything is documented and everything is given what needs to be given. Second one, misrepresentation. This is a big one, providing false, misleading, or inconsistent information. This is a big problem I have seen, not the previous year, but this year is a lot, I feel. People who have agent. They have an agent file a application for them. They get refused, they get accepted at the end. They come to Canada, they start studying, and everything is going well. Post-graduation work permit come, and their problem arise because when they apply, finally they didn't decide to use the same agent. The agent even don't, if they use the same, may not remember what was previously filed. So they filed a new application, but the information is different. So there you can get a misrepresentation of date of employment, misrepresentation of a document, misrepresentation of information. And I get a lot of people who say, oh yeah, but I didn't declare that on my previous application. Oh yeah, we filed the application. I forget to tell you, I may had refusal. I crossed the border when was permitted flag pulling, but I get an administrative refusal from USA. So all this implication, you may be okay at the time it's occur, but when you are applying to the next application, there is a big problem. Do you say the same things you have said before? Have you different information, different documents, different information of those document use? So misrepresentation is a ban from Canada for 5 years, and after you have to apply to come. So this is a long time. Not meeting eligibility requirement. So for example, for the one who apply for the LMI exemption, don't giving the offer of employment, it was not eligible for the work permit because there was not offer of employment. I have seen some people where even the employer filed for the offer of employment, giving the wrong code of exemption, and later on the foreign national giving refusal because the offer of employment was not for what they apply. The one who was refused twice, he applied for an open work permit when was a closed work permit, so therefore get refused. Even he explained everything in the submission letter, what he applied for, what he do, and the full situation. If he didn't file it correctly on the form, it was not correct, so get refused. Fourth one, missing deadline. So if you don't give your document on time, like the 60 days for express entry, you don't get an extra time to file. It's done. Your opportunity is gone. If IRCC requests documents, sometimes they will say, we request that document 7 days, 5 days, 30 days, sometimes 2 months if you get a chance, depends on the document. If you miss that, your application will be refused. And the last one, unclear or missing supporting documents. So most of the time when I have people coming in the office and come because they have a refusal, most of the time it makes sense. The officer was right on the decision. There is nothing that to challenge. We cannot say to the officer it was wrong decision because they didn't give the document. The document was not translated. The document was wrong. The information was not filled correctly. So unclear or missing supporting documents, small file missing from a package can delay. Most of the time for temporary permits, study permit, work permit, it will not even delay, it will just be refused. One rule is always to double check everything, like we check 3, 4, 5 times sometimes a file before submitting. Cross-verify documentation. This is important, like you declare in your for example, you declare in your express entry, oh, I have been working for that employer from September 2019 to September 2020. But the employment letter that you give, the employer declare, oh, you have been working actually January to September. So you see you don't have the same months count. So maybe you was allowed to apply because on the portal information you was eligible, but actually you are not because you have not the requirements of work experience. So make sure that everything is correct, everything makes sense when you apply, and nothing strange in between that will call attention to the officer or just dig into it. This is the question and answer of today. Just let me back this one. And please let me know if you have any questions. Some of you I've seen that have some questions, and I will check them online. What are the options? Someone have asked, what are the options if work permit almost expired? So there you need to have option. You need to consult maybe, or you need to know your options. I always recommend that you have option 1, 2, 3, because if option 1 is not working, you can switch to option 2. In consultation, we will see maybe sometime we have 3 options, but 2 working together. So we're working on 2 options in same time. And if one getting better at the time, or we get invitation to apply or something, we'll prioritize this one. Doesn't mean that we leave other options out. We're just working on other options, and until PR is secure, if it's your goal is PR. So I will say for the person who say what to do is the work permit expired, I will say if you don't know your option, consult or make research, but make sure that you know what is available for you at the next step. Question 2, is there a path for immigration that's not required work experience? So yes, there is a path for having not work experience. For sure, you are limiting your path, but one of the paths can be study permit. So you come as a student, you study what you like. I recommend not taking every one course that saying that, oh, this is good for me, but I don't like it. Take something that you like. Study. You can work in same time, part-time, full-time during the breaks. And after, you can access post-graduation work permits to gain some experience, work experience in Canada, and maybe have better chance for express entry, which can lead you to PR. Second option can be family sponsorship. If you have a family member that is a Canadian or permanent resident. Third option that I can see is a startup visa program, more investor program, but some of them you have to require some management background work experience, so it depends. Some rural community programs, some stream can have it, but usually work experience is really a plus. Humanitarian compassionate grounds, depending on your situation. And maybe refugee, but these two, refugee and HNC, humanitarian and compassionate ground, will really depend on your situation. And do you work with HNC file? HNC file is not our specialty, I will say. If we have to, yes, we will do, but it depends. So it depends on your situation and depends on your information, I will say. But it's not our specialty. Is there any other question? It's already 24. We may take one extra question if you have. And we will see maybe each other next time. This was our first time that we decided to do that TikTok live to answer questions, giving back time to the community. Everyone can ask them questions, and we may redo it next time. So if it's something that you like or you want, you may let us know what topics you want to cover, or timing is the best. Like, give us information and we'll see if we'll do a second session. Also, I don't know if there is people connected related to Yukon nominee program. This morning we attend the session, mandatory session for employers, so on behalf of employers. So if you have also any question on that, you're welcome to ask as we get the latest information this morning, like half hour before connecting. So anyone have a question? I don't see. I see people joining. Join. Show me an easy way. I'm not very literate. I'm writing this from translation. Easy way. There is no easy. I be honest, in immigration, there is no easy path, easy way. As you can hear, I'm from France. For sure, if you know French, you may have a better option, LMI exempt, work permit, coming to Canada, working, settling down until you find your path for PR. But there is no special easy way. A study permit depends on your background and what you want. I have some people who have done English course, and after they start them program and come study post-graduation work, make them live here. So it really depends, but nothing come easy. Yeah, I think we are good. We have no more questions, so maybe if you want to comment, send us a message or say anything about next session if you want one. I want to thank everyone who participates. Thank you very much. It's not easy for me to be online. It's more easy for me to give you immigration advice, to be honest. If anybody has a particular situation to discuss or to assess them plan, you can book a consultation. The link should be on the TikTok bio, and we'll see you from the next time. Thank you. Bye.